What comes to mind when I think of the mystic archetype is the hollow bone. It is not someone who is full of life, but rather someone who is empty and unobstructed, allowing all of life to flow through. They could also be described as a channel or receiver through which universal consciousness or God is able to flow. And this is what I wanted to embody during the creation of this painting. Releasing any idea of who I am to allow something much larger than myself to speak through me. My name is Summer. I'm an artist, creative mentor, and voice for the earth. In this video, I'll walk you through my underpainting process as I explore the mystic archetype, and will also share some of the beauty from my recent trip to North Carolina. Lately, I've enjoyed starting my paintings in the best place of all places, the great outdoors. All of my paintings begin with these natural earth paints. They come in a powdered form which must be mixed with oil prior to painting, and I use a natural walnut oil as my base. Mixing paints in this way definitely adds some time to the beginning process, but instead of getting annoyed at that, I really try to use that as an opportunity to meditate and to vision what I want to create for this painting. A lot of my process has honestly come from watching other people paint and borrowing techniques that I find myself curious about, just refining them, and also just following my joy. I use a yellow underpainting to bring some brightness into the piece, and also I just love yellow, and seeing a full yellow canvas makes me happy. I used to not do an underpainting for any of my pieces, but now that I've started doing it, I can't imagine painting anything without it. It has become a critical way for me to nail in the composition and the value. I start by carefully laying in the first lines and then start to fill in the darker areas first. The darker values create the base, then come the highlights, and lastly the midtones. Once I have the composition roughly filled in and I'm happy with the silhouette, I will go back and forth between lights, darks, and midtones, refining the figures as I go. It may seem silly to add so much detail to the underpainting when you know you're going to paint over it, and that's how I thought about it when I first started doing it, but trust me, it is so helpful to have a solid base so that when it comes time to add color and detail, you can focus solely on that. And it seems counterintuitive that by painting and underpainting it would save you time, but it really does. And it really has saved me so much time in the process. Much of this video and process was filmed in the beautiful mountains of North Carolina, so I of course wanted to share some of the beauty with you all. I feel most connected to spirit and to my inner mystic when I'm immersed in nature. And many lessons came through in my openness, but one of the most profound is this. We need not obey our fear, but we absolutely must listen to it. It's a simple sentiment that I so deeply needed to hear. I was resisting my fears in an effort to be the brave and courageous queen. I thought that if I listened, I might be persuaded to act out of fear. But what I found is that in fact by not listening, I was acting out of fear and distrust in my own ability to choose. To be open allowed me to hear the fear and to soothe it, to nurture it, and to make peace with it. To be open and hollow did not make me feel empty in the slightest. In fact, it made me feel more myself than I have in quite some time. It's almost as if releasing the self brought me closer to my soul, to the truth of who I am, the truth that is contained within the natural world. So I am back in Florida, back in the swamp, and it apparently has been raining a lot since I've been gone, and it rained a lot today. but I decided to go out and paint. So I am here in the swamp. It has stopped raining, and I'm gonna try and make it past all this water. So wish me luck. If you too would like to merge your love for nature with your love for painting, I will leave some links down below for all of the tools that I use to make this possible. I don't think this is going to last very long. I'm already getting bit by tons of no-see-ums.